You're listening to Hotepish. You're listening to Hotepish with your host, Dwann B. Intelligent ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
Thank y'all for joining me. Shit. I took a week off. I needed that week. I needed a week to disconnect from all the bullshit. Y'all know how it is. It's a paradox in life. On one hand, you want to participate and join in and do what you can to help, call awareness to it. On the other hand, niggas like me gotta realize and remember, this shit's all an illusion. None of this shit real. You create your own reality. At the end of the day, it don't matter what the presidents, vice presidents are doing. It don't matter what people are doing. You create your reality. But when you're watching the news all the time and paying attention, sometimes you can get disconnected from that. You know what I mean? And I got a little disconnected from that. I had to go out in nature. You feel me? And relax. Had to get away from this shit. Had to get away from it all. But thank y'all for joining in. We are about to talk that shit. We're gonna start off talking a little bit of politics, and then we're gonna get into what I know a lot of people want to hear. A lot of people want to hear my opinion and what's going on. You know, so yeah, you're gonna get a little bit of my opinion, but we also gonna have some lessons in this shit, man. We also gonna have some lessons, like we always do, because, like I said before, anything happening around us is a learning opportunity. Anything happening around us is a learning opportunity. This here was my a view from where I was staying, my room. This is what I was doing all week. Sitting by the beach, hitting them shrooms. For sure, Star. You're welcome. Thank you for buying the t-shirt. Shit. I appreciate anybody who bought the t-shirts. What's good, Stanley White? What's on, Bassing, ENT? What's up, Lovelace, Poppin', Bakari? Yeah, Alex, this is going to be some interesting shit. We're going to talk about when celebrities clash in a little bit. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about that. But before we get there, we got to talk about what's been going on, the past week politically. I know a lot of people have been wanting to hear my point of view on what's going on with the election of Joe Biden, with Joe and the Ho. Yes, I said it, Joe and the Heezy. Because in San Francisco, she was on her kneesies. Shouts out to Willie Brown. Shouts out to Willie Brown. So, yeah. Hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. Share this shit. Sunday service is in session. And yes, I'm glad you lit your blunt, both Joseph, because the reason why this show started at 11 and not 10 is because I had to smoke, and I had to smoke good. I don't like rushing my smoke sessions, you know what I mean? I don't do blunts like a lot of you niggas. I do joints. I rather smoke 3 joints than 1 dusty ass blunt. You feel me? Glad you back, Eastwood. Appreciate being back. Yeah, I have to disconnect because one thing I like to say is regardless of all the political talk, I always want to keep in people's mind that, look, man, at the end of the day, we all create our own reality. We create our own reality. All the stuff that's happening politically, these are the things happening around us. These are the things happening to the people who've been in charge of making things happen. But at the end of the day, we still create our own shit. And when you're watching the news, to me, I look at the news like entertainment. I look at it like comedy. I look at the news the same way I look at Saturday Night Live. The same way I watch basketball. It's a game. It's entertainment. The news is some shit to let you know what these motherfuckers is doing. But in the meantime, you still can create your own reality. You're right, Eastwood. You gotta live, man. Shit, I was up there in Cambria, California. They still have the restaurants open. Well, technically. You bought your food, then went and sat down. And I had a room right there on the water. Got to wake up and hear the waves. I got to eat some shrooms and see the sunset from my balcony. I'll be right back up there in about 2 months, connecting with nature. But while I was out there in nature, I was disturbed by what I saw when I did check in online. I didn't do too much online. I didn't watch too much news. But what I did see when I did check in, it was very, very disturbing. And what I saw, we had the election of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And I saw, when I would turn on my social media, I would see black parents talking about what this means about their daughters. And let me start off by saying this. Parents, and this is coming from DwannBrown, I'm coming at you from my professional point of view. My breakthrough advocacy services point of view. Y'all see the logo up there, that's my company. Been working with the Chillins for over 20 years. I'm gonna come at you with my professional hat on. The most important person in a child's life, the most influential person in a child's life, the person that's most effective when pointing a trajectory of where a child can go, is the child's parent. You should never defer your parental responsibilities onto some actors we see projected through a TV screen. Whether those actors play basketball, whether those actors act, whether they do music, or whether they're politicians. If black people needed someone on TV to be inspired, how did we produce George Washington Carver? How did we produce Benjamin Banneker? How did we produce Horace King, Paul Williams? How did we produce Paul Robeson, Martin Luther King? How did we produce Elijah Muhammad? How did we produce Malcolm X? How did we produce Frederick Douglass? If images we've seen on TV are so important, how did we produce the greatest, most influential culture that the world sees? Yes, because America's #1 export is American culture. And what is American culture? Black culture. Why? I'm not even going to talk about who Kamala Harris is as a person yet. I'll get to that. Y'all already know how I feel about her as a person. I just want to speak to the parents here. Why do I keep hearing I just want my daughters to know that they can be president? Did we not learn our lessons from Barack Obama? Did we not learn our lessons from damn near every black mayor in any black city in America? With the exception of Alton Maddox? Did we not learn the lesson from Lori Lightfoot? Having a black face in a high place, those people ain't been too good for us. So my question is, why would you even want your children to look up to somebody who ain't shit? Why would you want your children to look up to someone who their job security requires them to shit on black people? As a parent, let's just talk to the parents real quick. What's up with this deferring your parental responsibilities to people that we see on TV? And politicians. Black people don't need someone on TV. Black children aren't stupid. Black children aren't crazy. Black children aren't less than. Black children don't need someone appointed by a white person to need inspiration. They need their parents to sow that into them. They need to get in contact with their lineage, their ancestry, their ancestors. They need to know black history in America and abroad. They need to know family history. They need to know who they are. Because inside every black child, just like inside you, is all the gifts needed to live a happy, wonderful, successful life. The gifts are within. And as we teach children to tap to that source within, and as adults learn how to tap to that source within, we realize we don't need any of these motherfuckers to inspire anybody. How did Robert Smalls, a slave, bust out of slavery, steal a Confederate ship, convince Abraham Lincoln to let black people fight in the Civil War, recruit over 5,000 soldiers to the Civil War, at the end of the Civil War, bought his slave master's house, ran for Congress, and won? Robert Smalls was born a slave. He didn't have no fucking TV or no images to look up to, but he became the image. How did Bass Reeves beat his slave master's ass, escape to Oklahoma Territory, and then arrest over 3,000 people? He didn't have no fucking TV to look at that. That comes from parental guidance, no matter what the circumstances. These motherfuckers' parents were enslaved. But they still instilled within them the confidence to do what they feel is right. You don't need no goddamn Kamala Harris to do no shit like that. You don't need that. So, looking at Kamala as an inspiration for black children, that's a non-starter. Because if we do look closer at Kamala, we see a woman who's gotten everything that she's gotten as a district attorney and attorney general from fucking up black people. Her record on black people is impeccable. Do you think if she was the kind of person that didn't have straight up guerrilla pimping style prosecution of black people, she would have gotten promoted up through the California legal system?
1981.
You don't get to the top in California without fucking us up. Ronald Reagan proved that when he was our governor. You don't get to the top in California unless you have a record on fucking up black people. You want your children to look up to that? You really want your child to be the person, okay, to get that message, okay, if I want to win, I gotta point my gun and aim at black people? That's what you want your child to be. Keep that future coon away the fuck from me. You want your child to be Kamala Harris. You currently have them enlisted in coon boot camp. Get the fuck away from me. The last thing we need is another Kamala Harris in black society. Because first of all, she ain't even black like you. Okay, let's define black. People always say, okay, yeah, she is black. Let's define it because it's defined on, definitions have right and wrong on multiple levels. There's no flat line when it comes to truth and knowledge. Everything has levels to it. Everything got levels. Listen to this free game I'm giving you. Everything has levels. Is she black? From the aspect of, okay, if the police see her, they're going to assume she's black? Yes. Is she black from the term of, from the point of view of, if she wants to go into a high-end store and no one knew who she was, will she get possibly treated like a black person? Yes. She is the classification of black at black's lowest common denominator. She's black relative to how black people are treated by non-black people. She's black on that level. Yes, she is. But when I say black, I'm speaking from a lineage level. The lineage of people classified as black in the United States of America who can trace their roots back to slavery. You gotta remember, the term black came around long before all these other motherfuckers came here. Alright? They was back in whatever country. Kamala was back in India stepping over mounds of dog shit. Back when the term black was created here in the United States of America. Kamala Harris's family was back in India treating the Dravidians, treating the untouchables the way white people treat black people here in America. Why? Because India taught these white motherfuckers how to have color-coded racism. You dig? Go back to the 1600s. They'll show you how to draw a line between light and dark in India. And that's where the white folks learned that shit from. Because contrary to popular opinion, there were black people living in England, plenty of them in the 14 and 1500s. And there was no race-based discrimination in England at the time. But it was going on in India. So, she is someone who doesn't see herself as black. That's why she only calls out being black when it's time to be elected. After that, she Asian. Am I lying or am I bullshit? Am I bullshit? Am I telling you the truth? Tell me if I'm lying. Tell me if I'm lying. So, you can't assign someone a racial classification based on how you think they look. Well, I'll take it back. You can do that. But you're guaranteed promise to have a screwed up, fucked up result if you look at someone's epidermis and say they're this because they look like that. That mindset, that shit'll get you crossed over than a Kyrie Irving left-right step back. You're guaranteed to be confused and fucked up if you approach it that way. You assign people their racial category by listening to them and allowing and letting them talk. You watch their actions because actions do speak louder than words. And you see for yourself based on their words, on their actions, what they identify as. Because a lot of these motherfuckers we see as black, like if you're from India, you can legally classify yourself as white. I personally like to see Kamala Harris's driver's license. Call me a birther if you want. I want to see her driver's license. Does she classify herself as white? That's a legitimate question. Because if you're from India, you can do that. Kamala Harris, I had a picture of Kamala Harris's birth certificate up. As a matter of fact, I did a full show on Kamala Harris's birth certificate. Her mom identified as white on her birth certificate. Her mom identifies herself on Kamala's birth certificate. Her mom identifies herself as white. And her dad identified himself as Jamaican. Anything to avoid that black label. So was Kamala Harris labeled? Did she label herself white? And then when it came time to go to Howard, did she label herself Asian? Because Asians get the same minority benefits black people get. These are serious questions. Because a lot of these people play racial hopscotch. They play ethnic hopscotch. They hop over to black when it comes time to get the benefits our grandparents fought for. Then they go back to acting white. So if you look at her skin, her epidermis, and you say, hey, that's who she is based off that, the only person confused is you. Kamala Harris is not confused. Kamala Harris is not confused. She's very clear. Joe Biden's very clear on who she is. Joe Biden wrote the laws. She put him in jail as fast as he can write them. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is like Lob City Clippers. Joe Biden was Chris Paul. He set it up. Kamala Harris is Blake Griffin. Lob City. Joe Biden playing point guard. He had Bill Clinton on the wing to kick it to. Barack Obama come and set the screen. Barack popped out to the three-point line. Kamala Harris came around that motherfucking screen to the rim. Joe threw that hoe up. Kamala Harris caught that shit, dunked it, nuts all in y'all face. That's how well these motherfuckers, these two been working together for the last 30 years. Lob City. And anytime the lob wasn't there, they kicked it out to Barack Obama for the open three. And he hit that motherfucker because he saw all the Negroes every time they march Obama out. Like you saw the shit at the inauguration. Ooh, Michelle Obama's hair is laid. Ooh, Barack. Oh, we want you back, Barack. Barack hit that three, kissed his two fingers, put his hand up to the crowd, and these motherfuckers fell for it. But this is what these people don't realize. Just like the NBA, the Republicans versus the Democrats is a game of basketball. And we in the stands. When one wins and the other loses, one of them holds the trophy up for a day. They go back to practice and they play again the next day. Only thing is, they get paid, they get the jobs, they get the job security, they get every tangible thing that they want from this. Meanwhile, us as fans sitting on the sideline rooting ain't getting shit. These motherfuckers is playing a game with and against each other, with each other against us. The whole point is to keep us entertained, to keep us buying, just like basketball. The whole point is to keep us entertained so we keep buying tickets, keep tuning into the TV shows so they can keep selling advertisements and keep selling shoes, clothing, batteries, Gatorade, cars, Hennessy, and whatever the fuck else they want to trade. The whole point is to keep the game going, to keep us watching. While they do what the fuck they want to do anyway. Yeah, the fans boycott from time to time. And the fans get a little bit ruffled. But simmer down, fans. We'll just... Okay, what we'll do is we'll change the rules up to make the game a little bit more exciting. Damn! Nah, really, you didn't miss the Corey Zoe convo. I'm gonna get into Corey and Zoe in a few minutes. We just talking about right now these hoe ass motherfuckers in office. All this shit is a game, man, and it's a game against us because Joe signed all them executive orders. Most of them pertaining to illegal immigrants. A few others towards gays. And nothing specifically to black people. And this is what you have, celebrations like this going on around the world, around the country, nationwide. Plantation celebrations like a motherfucker. So, for the next year, we can expect a whole lot of bullshit. We can expect Joe and the hoe to do what they do to fuck with us. And this is just time for black people, those of us who are conscious, those of us who are awake and see what's going on. We have to band together and do what we need to do to make ourselves the best place we can be, people we can be. And for those out there who are still on that Kamala, Joe Biden train, while this is going on, if they're still, talking shit, and, just politely ask them, as they sign these executive orders for everybody who isn't black, what are they going to do for black? What are they going to do for your vote, Uncle Cletus? And just see what they say and laugh. Don't take it personal. Don't fall out with family over this shit. Just see it for what it is. See it for what it is. And move on. See it for what it is and move on. Oh, this shit pissed me off. I saw this right here. Oh, I saw this. Oh my God. Kamala Harris. There's nothing. I want to talk about these pearls. God damn it. Man, hey, look, we black people, we got to have a serious conversation about Howard University and its alumni. Howard, really all HBCUs, but specifically Howard. Y'all been the most settling out ass niggas that I've seen in a long time. Oh, I know what Kamala Harris did to all those black men in California was wrong. Oh, I know that she put black women in jail for not sending their kids to school. But she went to HU, and whatever the fuck sorority she was in, I'm gonna wear my pearls. Fuck you and them pearls. Howard didn't have the balls to sign John Henry Clark. Howard fired Carter G. Woodson. Do y'all know who Carter G. Woodson is? The reason why we have a Black History Month is because of Carter G. Woodson, the first black man to get a PhD, to get a higher degree from Harvard. He created Black History Week, which turned into Black History Month. He wrote the book Miseducation of the Negro. To me, the most groundbreaking book you have to read, Miseducation of the Negro. Because it really talks about how our heads was fucked up through the school system. That book is coming up on 90 years old now. It was written published in 1933. It could have been written yesterday because they playing the same games in school, just on a higher level. Howard had that motherfucker and wouldn't let it and fired him because he was too black. Howard had Dr. Frances Cress Welsing living one block over from campus and wouldn't hire her as a... She should have been head of the psychology department. But she had to rent out a room and teach on the back end of the university because them niggas was too embarrassed to give a job to the most prolific, most profound, genius woman of the century, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. Do y'all know that Howard has an Asian as like an editor to like their paper? Them niggas at Howard cooning so hard, they're like, oh, it's not good enough that just a white person gotta come and filter what we say. Now we's gonna hire Asian. Well, what we's gonna do is we's gonna hire Asian. That way she can filter our communication. So Master can go and do what he gotta do. Master shouldn't be the only one watching what we say and do. Here, look. Y'all think I'm bullshitting? Look. Howard hired somebody named Ren Yu. They didn't even hire one of the ones with an American last name. I mean, first name. Usually, like a lot of Chinese people, their first name, their names would be like Kimberly Yu, or Sasha Yu, something kind of Americanish. Howard said, "We're gonna hire some chick named Ren Yu." That sounds like an Eminem lyric. Ren Yu. Sounds like some Eminem saying when he's talking bad about his mama. I'm gonna get my mom and I'm gonna Ren Yu. She will lead the university's storytelling efforts. Someone named Ren Yu. So this is what we got going on at Howard right now. And I heard someone that graduated from Howard tell me the alumni are mad. Well, y'all alumni ain't got no goddamn power. If the alumni are mad and they still got her in there, that shows you what the fuck they care about you alumni. Wake up, niggas. And now y'all give us Kamala Harris? Someone who got an education from Howard University just to come back to California and lay the rock bottom smack down on black society? Black people, we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do. And I'm over here. Can y'all hear me clear? Because I got my neighbor, she got the music playing loud. I got a neighbor, she looked like Rick James. Remember how Rick James had that hair that used to go down? Yeah, she looked like Rick James. Talk about the funk. God damn, walk past. Smells like cigarette. And funkier than the song busting out on the serious funk. Yeah, man. So y'all can hear me clear? Y'all don't hear my neighbor's music? Alright, cool. Yeah, I got Rick James over there. She busting out on the serious funk. Alright, so that takes us to where we gonna talk about now. A lot of people have been asking me my thoughts on the Corey and Zoe situation. First off, I would like you guys. Let me be very clear. I ain't gonna take sides. I'm just gonna talk what I observe. All right. And if you feel it's taking sides, then that's on you. This is just me taking from what I observe. And I'm going to continue this. I'm going to have another broadcast probably Tuesday night after we interview Zoe. because on Wednesday morning I'm getting my wisdom teeth pulled. So a nigga gonna be talking like Muhammad Ali. I can't talk to y'all on Wednesday because I ain't gonna have no wisdom teeth. I'm gonna be Muhammad Ali mouth for a couple days. So I'm gonna try to get that broadcast off Tuesday night after Craig Facts. But yeah, full disclosure, I saw the blow up between Corey and Craig on 5150. I didn't watch the last 30 minutes. Like I saw like the first 30 minutes of the blow up, and then I stopped. I stopped. I didn't watch the last 30 minutes because, like I said before, I like to. I don't like to know the details. I worked in mental health and I worked with kids, and I worked in my career, my company Breakthrough. I work through people's issues all the time. So for me, when I see issues, to me that shit just sounds like work, and I just check out because I've been the person in people's homes working them out through the most serious of times. So anytime I see confusion, I just stop dealing with it because, like I said, I've done it at work for too many years. You know, I'm someone that's had to speak to parents who knew the person that molested their child but wouldn't report it to the police, and they would tell their child to just get over it. I'm the person that would have to come in and counsel that child and that parent through shit like that. So when you somebody like me, having to be the counselor of a child, and you hear the mother tell that child, "You're just a little bitch. I'm going to send you back to foster care because I didn't want you anyway." And now you have to counsel that child through that and still have the strength to go and counsel that mother. When you deal with that shit in the day, you don't want to deal with it at night. So yeah, I saw a little bit of the blow up. I didn't watch the end of it because, you know, I saw two brothers I respect going at it. And then Corey gave a really great explanation on his following show Tuesday. Because at first, when I first heard it, I was like, man, you know, Corey a little foul the way he came up at my first thought. But then when I heard Corey's explanation, I get it. I'm able to understand more his point of view as to why he felt he needed to do it that way. And so when he came on the Craig Facts, you know, he was being 100. Brandon, shouts out to Brandon Tony. Brandon asked some great, dope questions on the show. Brandon asked some dope questions, and Corey was being 100. Corey talked about, you know, where he went wrong and how, you know, the feelings that he was harboring, maybe he shouldn't have harbored them so long. Corey explained, and go watch that episode of Craig Facts. Y'all should be watching Craig Facts every Tuesday and Thursday anyways. Dopest fucking podcast out there, I'm telling you right now. 5150 is my all-time favorite. 5150 is what got me into listening to podcasts. And and 5150 has its flavor. I'm always gonna listen to 5150. That shit dope as hell. But I will say I love Craig Facts too. Not just because I'm a part of it, because I watch Craig Facts on the episodes that I'm not on. I just think it's a dope show, seeing black men talk business, talk some real shit, crack jokes, and then get back to talking some real shit while promoting black business. On the same episode, we had a black woman business owner. Shouts out to Dozy. We get a lot of black women who own businesses that come through the Craig Facts and sit through what we say. And Craig does a great job of managing the show. He's a great host. I've seen that brother grow so much over the last year hosting this show. And then you got Brandon Tony, not pictured in here. Brandon always asks, you know, Brandon's a person that's always wearing some cock-a-doodle-doo ass shirts. This nigga Brandon is the only person that can find a Tommy Bahama in Alaska. I don't know where the fuck he be finding them shirts. But he asked some great questions. And we got to see Corey be 100. And I respected him for answering everything that we had to ask. Like this shit, I have 266 people in here and only 151 likes. Like this shit, people. and share it. Like and share. We on some real shit right here. Because what's been happening is, and the title of this episode is when this part we're talking about celebrities clashing. Corey got to, and all you can ask for someone, because none of us are perfect. No one's perfect. No one's gonna get it all right. The only thing I say you can ask for someone is when they do whatever they did that you feel is wrong or not right, that they be honest about it, they be transparent about it, and they give 100. They be 100 from their point of view, and that's what Corey did. Whether you agree with what he said or not, I'm not going to get into whether or not you agree, because that's up to you to decide what you agree with and what you don't. But the man Corey was being 100. So this coming Tuesday, we're going to have Zoe on Craig Facts. And I encourage you guys to tune in to Craig Facts. We're going to have Zoe on. And those same and tough, intense questions that Brandon asked Corey, he's going to be asking Zoe. And we're going to find out. We're going to find out who's being 100 the most. And you'll decide. But one thing I'll say about Corey is, one thing I did not appreciate that happened on the blow up was when Zoe said something to the effect of Corey doesn't put his people on. I got to give pushback to that. And this is no slight towards Zoe, none at all. I respect Zoe too. I ain't got no issues with that, brother. But I did have an issue with that part. And I thought that was unfair. Because Corey's giving opportunities to comics that not even black-owned comedy clubs give to black comics. I personally got pushed out of a major black comedy club here in LA. When I first started there, I was a host. I was doing everything. When I was doing my sort of light and fluffy jokes about, hey, I'm a fat person and it's easy to swallow, easy kind of surface level jokes. I was a regular there. The minute I decided to go into myself and really get political with my comedy and really start, not just political, get really pro-black with my comedy, the black-owned comedy club stopped fucking with me. For real. I was a regular at the Comedy Union. I can say their name. They closed down now. I don't give a fuck. I was a regular there. When I started to go get like more conscious with my shit and started to be funny while making people think, it didn't matter how many laughs I got out there. Homie that ran it was like, no, nigga. Just basically do that bullshit. That's the kind of shit that being a black person that speaks out has to deal with. Another person, when it came to this comedy game, is the person that used to run the improv on Monday nights. I remember asking him, I'm like, I was at the Gardena Jazz Festival. You know how it is when niggas is drinking, everybody's honest. I went to Spike. I was like, Spike, man, why don't you ever book me for your Monday nights at the improv? And Spike was like, nah, man, you funny, Dwann, you funny, but I don't know what you gonna say. Basically saying, look, you a free nigga, and I don't know what you gonna say that's gonna piss them white people off. So Dwann didn't get good opportunities at a lot of the comedy clubs here in LA. I ain't talking about the white, I'm talking about just the black ones. Because of how open and honest that I am. Didn't matter how many laughs I got. It didn't matter. You a wild nigga that might say some wild shit. Corey Holcomb didn't give a fuck. Corey don't even know me like that. We just two cats that became cool. He close to Craig, I'm close to Craig, and me and him became close. Not close, but we became cool. And he respected my honesty, and he gave me an opportunity on this platform. Something that these hoe-ass black-owned comedy clubs are afraid to do with a nigga who gonna speak his mind. So I'm pushing back on Corey don't put people on. Corey actually takes risks. Corey ain't waiting to see if you vetted by all of the approved channels. Because these comedy clubs is dick riders. Comedy clubs don't fuck with you until you own somebody's TV show, own somebody's commercial, or you own somebody else's tour. Basically, these comedy clubs and these promoters want to know whose dick are you riding before they put you on theirs. The official places is a dick riding ass. Hollywood is a dick riding ass place. Corey ain't like that. Corey don't want nothing from nobody. Corey, if you have a talent that he sees, he's gonna share his opportunity. I mean, he's gonna share his platform. And from there, that's all the nigga with talent needs. That's all you really need is an opportunity for a platform to be shared on. If what you got is dope, it's gonna take care of the rest. When I first did 5150, I was struggling to get 800 subscribers. Because I didn't really start taking YouTube serious until about June of last year. June is when I started taking YouTube serious. Before that, I would just push it on, wouldn't hashtag it, didn't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? June is when I started taking YouTube serious, and I started getting followers. And then I did 5150. I got like 1,500 followers like damn near overnight. People fucked with me because of what they saw on 5150. And I appreciated that. What's up, Lady Hotep? Yeah, Rishad, I still fuck with both too. This isn't about choosing sides to me. This is about looking at what's going on in front of us and seeing what we can learn out of it. Because everything that happens in front of us, there's a learning lesson for us, especially if you have an emotional connection to what's going on. An emotional connection is a telltale sign there's a learning lesson somewhere within it. You just got to sink through the mud, through the shit, through the dirt, through the vomit to find it. Because it was a whole lot of vomit spewed. But within the vomit spewed, there was a lot of game to be picked up. Yeah, Jeff is gonna be there. I think Jeff is gonna swing through Craig Fat. Me and Jeff Brown talked on the phone yesterday. Salute to Jeff Brown. Hell, if my Restream ain't working, if I was on Restream, Jeff Brown probably would join the chat room on Facebook, because he's always on Facebook. Usually when I'm on Facebook, Jeff Brown be in the chat room on his show. He don't ever go over to YouTube. Jeff Brown still be on the Facebook side of the game. But I love that motherfucker, Jeff Brown. But Corey was being 100. And Corey gives people a chance. He gives people an opportunity. You can't go to someone else and get mad at them because they let you in the door, but they didn't hold your hand and walk you to the president of the studio's office. If someone lets you in, it's not their job to hold your hand and navigate you through the whole facility. That's not their job. People out here trying to get it. When someone hook you up, sometimes all the time they got is just enough time to open the door, because they got to get back to getting it themselves. They can't hold your hand and show you all the trap doors and show you where the lunchroom is and the break room, and this is where the bathroom is and this is where the CEO's desk is. People ain't got time for that. Here, Jeff Brown's in the chat room. There we go. I love that motherfucker right there, Jeff Brown. Hell yeah, Jeff Brown's in the chat room. Jeff TV. Yes, there he is. My man. We love you, Jeff Brown. Because as listeners, when you see blow-ups like this isn't the time to take sides. When you take sides, when you rush to take sides, you miss the learning lessons. Nobody is perfect. We all fuck up. And through other people's fuck ups, we can avoid certain pitfalls and drains. And another thing in the chat room, I'm not looking at the chat room too much, because I'm trying to keep my thoughts straight. But don't assume too much. Corey and Freeze did not fall out. They still mad cool. Hell, me and Freeze. Matter of fact, I gotta call Freeze. We link up every now and again to just smoke like a motherfucking choo-choo train from the 1870s. I ain't smoked with my nigga Freeze in a couple months. I gotta call him up and smoke with him. But no, Freeze and Corey still cool. Hell, one of the last times I was at 5150, Bobby came through to the show, but he didn't stay on the show. He just came through to drop something off to Corey. So don't be going around talking about Corey and Bobby fell out. Y'all, people just be running their mouth. Just because you don't see people together don't mean they fell out. Freeze has his own thing that he's doing. Ain't nobody. Look, man, it's not. Look. I appreciate that, Jeff. I appreciate that. Yeah, Uncle Jeff in the chat. And Jeff Brown is somebody I totally look up to. No, we're not related by blood. We're different Browns, but I still call Uncle Jeff because he's like an uncle to me. He gives me that uncle type wisdom. And the Jeff Brown that you guys see on the Zoe What show, the Jeff Brown that you guys see entertaining you, is the Jeff Brown that exists in this realm. And he's a beautiful person. And Jeff Brown is a 100 individual. So yeah, it's not a game, it's not an act with Jeff Brown. Jeff Brown is Jeff Brown. And I can't wait to have Jeff Brown back on the show. But yeah, people have their own things, and then you want to get into all this, okay, who fell out, who didn't. Look, motherfuckers be falling out with your own family members for less. So let's just act like, let's stop acting like motherfuckers don't fall out. Even if motherfuckers do fall out and get back together or don't get back together, that's a part of life. Craig gave the perfect analogy on Craig Facts when he was talking about the trains. If we all going through life and we on a train, at some point we all have different exits. Some people got to exit to take another train that's going to take them to a whole other side of town. That's a lesson that I learned just recently. I talked about this shit on and I talked about this a little bit on Craig Facts, but I'm gonna say it a little bit here, then I'm gonna get back to Corey and Zoe. I look at it with me. It's certain people that I have very few people that I've fallen out with over life in my life. I've had great relationships with people. Like, that's why I have my communication courses, because all of my courses that I teach, everything that I teach in my company, Breakthrough, it's not a conceptual thing for me. It's because I'm very, 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 very successful at these things in my personal life, and I wish to share and share with people what has worked for me, what does work for me, what always has and always will work for me with you. That's why, I have these courses coming. I'm not somebody that conceptualizes anything. I only talk from experience and what works. And when it comes to what works, when it comes to this, communication being 100 has always been a thing that works. Something that I've always respected from people are people that can be 100 with whatever issue that they had and be open with it. And so when it comes to these relationships, when it comes to connections, when it comes to people be like, I had one friend that I had like a tough, not one, there's a couple people that we not cool over some weirdo shit. And there's nothing that I did to them. And I'm a forgiving person. It's very hard for me to hold grudges. But it was 2 or 3 people I didn't forgive. I was still having hang-ups on. Like, what the fuck? Then I just realized, like, look, man, the times that you had with people in your life, there was something to be gained and something that you grew from and something that you learned from during that time. Even the most negative experiences are still learning experiences. Oftentimes, the negative experiences are the biggest learning experiences. And where these people go when you're no longer friends, it doesn't really matter how the friendship breaks off. It doesn't matter how a bond breaks. And listen to me here, people. How a bond breaks is the least relevant thing in the breaking of that bond. Because some people, get stuck up on how things broke off. But when I look at one of the people I was having to hang up with and where they went in their life, it's so far in a different direction from where I am. Had the friendship not broken off the way it broken off, my dumb ass would have still been there trying to be a good friend, man. Hey, man, what's up, man? Hey, what's up? You want to make sure you good, man. Make sure you're drinking enough water, blah, blah, blah. I'd have still been trying to hold on with somebody that would have been dragging me down into the pits of hell. And I realized, you know what? Let me stop getting hung up on how shit ended, learn the lessons from what happened within it, and move on and embrace those who have now taken that role in my life. Because for every relationship, for every bond that you've had broken in your personal life, there's been someone to come around and replace it. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't fully embrace those who are around that are now in your life to take you to the next level in your life, because you're too hung up on the people who their mission, their trip with you was already finished, it's already done. They've already taken you as far as they can take you. You've already taken them as far as you can take them. Now it's time to free up that space in your life to open up to future things. And it's not a bad thing. Matter of fact, it's a beautiful thing. The fuck would a butterfly look like if it was stuck in a goddamn cocoon its whole life? Butterfly wouldn't be shit, would it? Ostrich wouldn't be shit if it was in that big ass egg its whole life. At some point, the ostrich had to bust out that egg, grow to get that long ass neck, and then die to become some shoes on my feet. You feel me? We got to remember that. So, Zoe and Corey had a great chemistry. They dropped a lot of game together. The question is, did you pick up on the game that they dropped? That's the question. Did you pick up on the game that they dropped? Because during their time together, they dropped a lot of game. Did you take it and did you run with it? Or did you just sit down and say, hey, I'm going to wait for next week and get some more game that I'm not going to use? Would I like to see Zoe back on 5150? Hell yeah. I'm a fan of 5150, man. I want to see Freeze back on that motherfucker. Man, you know how many times, especially like 3 or 4 years ago when Freeze first started like not going as much, you know how many times I hit up Freeze like, man, I want to see you on 5150 again. But Freeze had other shit to do. Freeze never say anything bad about Corey. Never say anything bad about Zoe or 5150. As a matter of fact, anybody who Facebook friends or anybody who knows me personally knows, back in 2016, me and Freeze was running a comedy room together. It was a little small spot that every Monday we worked out comedy. We did our comedy show. Corey came by that show. Darlene came by. Zoe came by. And this was all around the time Freeze wasn't going to 5150 as much because he had other things to do. Y'all don't know how happy I was when Craig got on 5150, because Craig is my day one in comedy. Me and Craig met. I had been doing comedy 2 months. It was his first night in comedy. When I saw Craig on 5150 for the first time, man, nigga, you know how goddamn happy I was? I couldn't wait for that episode to be over so I can call Craig to say, man, that's what's up. I love that show. I would love to see everybody back together. But that's not for me to call. That's not for me to decide. They may never, ever get back together. And as a fan, I got to be cool with that. Because life constantly evolves. Life constantly changes. And if you're steady looking at the rearview mirror, you're not preparing for what's coming. And us as black people, we're always on the cutting edge of what's coming. Yeah, but Darlene does have thick skin, because her and Corey be going at it. That should be hilarious. Matter of fact, the last time I was on 5150, they was going at it for like an hour. That shit was funny. But Darlene is sweet. I don't know Darlene personally like that. I just know her from the show. And I know her from when she came around to Freeze the show a couple times. Every time I've been around Darlene, she's been 100. I think the chat room goons are a little unfair to Darlene. Darlene holds shit down. Darlene is a very sweet person. Darlene's a very real person. You don't have to agree with people all the time. Do I agree with everything Darlene says? No. Hell, I don't agree with Corey. Corey was pissing me off when he was talking about Ice Cube a couple months ago. I'm like, nigga, you off cold like a motherfucker, Corey. That's what I'm thinking when I'm watching the show. But I don't gotta agree with Corey all the time, because Corey is his own man. I'm my own man. I don't watch shit to agree with people. I watch this shit because I watch 5150 because it's goddamn hilarious. I like listening to Zoe talk about religion. Zoe is great on giving you the history of religion. And I love when Zoe talks religion. And when Corey and Zoe had a back and forth on religion, I love that shit. I love it. But then when I heard, some things Corey said, when he's on our show, when he's on Craig Facts, as to why it became harder and harder for him to listen to Zoe and certain things, I understood where he was coming from too. This nigga Craig looked like he dreaming about that sandwich he made this morning. Didn't have time to finish eating. This nigga Craig looking like Lonely Richie in this motherfucker. This nigga Craig look like he dropped all of his quarters at the arcade. What the fuck happened to all my quarters? Nigga, I got a hole in my pocket? Now he on 5150 mad than the motherfucker because he didn't get to play all the games at the arcade because his pockets had a hole in it. He thinking, hey, this a motherfucking bitch. I'm outside my motherfucking quarters. Can't play a game, can't wash my britches. This nigga Craig look like he drink milkshakes for communion. Oh, man. I love that motherfucker Craig Smith. I love the show. But yeah, my whole thing is this. This is a fight between two people who gonna work it out however they work it out. Us watching, us observing, if Zoe is saying things and you like his show and you like what he has to say and you get substance out of what Zoe says, keep watching Zoe. If you like 5150 and Corey Holcomb and he makes you laugh, keep watching 5150. You don't have to decide and take sides. Now, if one of the two brothers says some things that you can't get over and you can no longer watch this show, that's fine too. But what's going on is deeper than what any of us see, including me. Like Craig said, these is OGs that have been knowing each other long before they met us. However they feel is how they feel. And they have 100% justification for feeling how they feel. I will do a follow-up after Zoe comes on and I'll give more of my opinion. I'm not dropping everything because I don't want to drop everything. I really want to hear more of Zoe's side of it. I want to address this right here. I saw this when I was looking through the show, and I want to talk about this. Let's be clear, black people. What Corey and Zoe has going on ain't got a goddamn thing to do with black men in totality. Do I agree with what's going on? No. I don't have to agree with it. It's not for me to call. It's not whether I agree with it or not. Do I like what's going on? No. I don't like, stuff like this happening out there for the world to see. But it's not about what I like. It's not about my preference. It's not about me. Oftentimes, things that you see happen in public, it had to happen that way. Brief example. The person I was talking about earlier that I had a grudge with, bought a car from them, paid the car off. Paid the car off in September. I don't remember the year, but I do remember the months. Paid the car off in September. Asked for the pink slip. Didn't get the pink slip. December comes. Didn't get the pink slip. January comes. No pink slip. By then, we found out, I guess we're not cool. I'm not the reason why we're not cool, but we're not cool. I emailed the person, no pink slip. February comes, March comes, no pink slip. Now I hit up a lawyer. Okay, what do I need to do? The lawyer tells me what I should do in the email, what kind of email I should send, blah, blah, blah. Send the email, go through all the official channels, no pink slip. Mind you, I've had 3 or 4 people who wanted to buy this car because I'm ready to sell it and get out of the gas guzzler and go into a better car. And this person I'm having an issue with is a public figure. If I said the name, you know who it is, but I'm not about to say the name because I'm done with that energy. I'm just using this as a teaching tool. Person doesn't give me the pink slip. So what did I do? How did I eventually get the pink slip? I said, person's a public figure. This particular person doesn't like being seen as negative and having a negative perception. So I went to Facebook and I went to Twitter and I roasted the shit out of this public figure. And I put a lot of this public figure's business on blast. People said, oh, Dwann, that was wrong. Oh, Dwann, but you both work with kids. What would the kids think that, you know, this looks good. You both are black men. Guess what happened? I roasted that person on a Friday. That pink slip was overnighted and I signed for its delivery through FedEx Express that Monday. 9 months of doing it right. 9 months keeping it in the house. 9 months of being respectful and keeping business in and not spreading people's business. 9 months of not putting people out there got me 0 results. As a matter of fact, 9 months of doing it the quote unquote right way made me lose out on 3 potential buyers. So when it came time to finally get my new car, I no longer could sell it. I had to then trade it in, which then cost me more money because instead of getting $5,000 that the person that was going to buy this car for offered me, and then the second person offered me $4,000 for it, and the third person offered me also $4,000. Instead of me getting any of that money, I had to take $2,500 on the trade-in. Cost me a lot of money. But I didn't get what was right. I didn't get what was owed to me until I said it in public. Was it embarrassing? Yeah, actually it was a little embarrassing because I'm not a public person. I don't like my shit out there. You know, did it feel funny knowing that I continue to still work with some of the same children I introduced to this public figure as someone they should look up to? Yeah, it was. But I got what needed to get fucking done by doing what the fuck I had to do. And it didn't matter what niggas thought. Sometimes things look a certain way. Certain times from the outside looking in, you wish things happened a different way. But when you're on the inside looking out, the person that did whatever they did felt they had to do it for a reason. And that reason is tied to what they know about this other person that you have no clue about that person. Again, I ain't taking sides. I'm just offering a different perspective. What's up, Slink Johnson? Smoke yours, nigga. I'm just offering a different perspective. That's all I'm doing. I'm offering a different perspective. Yeah, we got Slink up in the building. All I'm doing is offering a different perspective. I'm not taking sides. And this has nothing to do with black men. Guess what, people? Black men have issues too. Black men fuck up. Black men had a right to fucking express themselves how the fuck they feel like expressing themselves without anybody saying it has anything to do with you and me. You're right. Steven Zoe said he's still a work in progress. He is, like we all are. Reddy says Zoe think it's a game. What's up, Sherelle? Sherelle's my nigga. I love Sherelle. She dope as hell. Dope human being, Sherelle. Shouts out to you. But no, this ain't got nothing to do with black men. Because humanity is allowing black men to still, because in humanity is profound and profane. Ain't everybody good, ain't everybody great, ain't everybody bad, and ain't everybody evil. Humanity is allowing, look, I always use this as an example. Burr killed Alexander Hamilton in a duel over a dispute over how this country was going to be built and run. Guess what happened? The country was still built and run. Thomas Jefferson was known for settling shit with duels. The forefathers of the United States of America didn't get along, nigga. They was in competition for power. But where do you live right now? The United States of America. So what does that show you? Things can still be built. Things can still get constructed. Things can still work regardless of interpersonal disputes. If you allow an interpersonal dispute between two people you don't know to stop anything, that means you weren't focused and you weren't going to arrive at the goal anyway. Why? Because you have no goals set. People who have goals, those of us who have a vision, those who see the vision, those who work throughout the vision, are going to continue to move forward regardless of who falls out, who falls through along the way. Distractions are only distractions to the distracted. Let me say this one more time. Distractions are only distractions to the distracted. And yes, on Jeff TV, y'all will have Giraffe Balls tomorrow after Zoe. Watch Giraffe Balls. I'm glad that show is back, Jeff. I'm glad that show is back. Again, distractions are only distractions to the distracted. The distracted don't make it to goals and don't meet goals anyway. I'm not here to speak for the distracted. I'm here to speak to the focused. I'm here to speak to the people who understand that they're separate from what they see. Those of us with that mindset, those of us with that vision need entertainment too. I don't do this show to reach the lowest common denominator. And this is no diss to the lowest common denominator. But the lowest common denominator they can turn on TV, they can turn on anybody that got 2, 5, 15 million views and listen to a lowest common denominator perspective. That's not what we're here for. We're here to elevate the conversation. We're here to see it from multiple angles. We're here not to be dictated to on how to think, but to listen to thoughts in different thoughts forms and draw our own conclusions. That's what we are here at Hotepish to do. We're here to learn from what we see. And we as black men, we can't be allowing these publications to speak for us. Like, I think I got this picture from, it was one of those magazines. Hold on, which one? Where did I get this from? Which magazine was this? It was one of those quote unquote black publications that ain't shit. Oh yeah, Lipstick Alley. That's where I saw this picture from. That's where I saw the picture on. And you have somebody with a non-foundational black American name. Somebody who's obviously not from, a black person who's obviously not from the United States, speaking on Corey and Zoe being a bad look for black men. No, niggas like you are a bad look for black men. Niggas that think that black men are defined by what happens in entertainment. You the niggas that's bad for black men. Black men, we deeper than that. We stronger than that. We better than that. The things that happen in front of us do not represent who we are. Just like our actions. We are not our actions. We are separate from our actions. And the minute you define yourself by your actions is the minute you've lost perspective on who you really are in your deepest sense, at your deepest level. Don't let these niggas that's going through public issues fuck up your game. Someone in the chat room named Ivor Meston, is that your name? That joke sucked. Oh no, you know sometimes you get ready to, you want to roast somebody because you see a joke, but then you read the joke and be like, that wasn't funny. See, that's the thing with bad jokes. They just don't give you the inspiration to hit back. I was ready to hit back with a joke. Then I read the joke and was like, that's it? I'll wait for the next one. It's like when you hooping. Remember how it was when you was in high school and you was hooping? You was on a varsity squad? And then some nigga from the 7th grade want to get on the court and play with you? And you like, I can't take this nigga serious. I'm just gonna shoot fadeaway 3-pointers just because I can. This nigga sucks. Why would I run the risk of spraining the ankle and getting tired to hoop hard against this nigga? There's only one rule in the chat room. If you're gonna say a joke, make it be funny. Especially if it's a fat joke. Fat jokes are the easiest jokes to get. Fat jokes are so goddamn easy. If you fail at those, you should just fail at telling jokes. Just stop telling jokes. Like, go become an accountant or something. Like, you might be good in the ministry. You know, the street ministry at your church might need you if you can't tell a good fat joke. Somebody said, this nigga Dwann is on some Martin Luther King Hotep shit. I'm finna start roasting in 5 minutes.
1981.
Another easily distracted person. We talking that real shit. Cause I'm a grown ass man. Now, yeah, I mind roasting, but it's a time and place for everything. Sometimes you gotta talk about what you see going on and extract the nuggets of knowledge and the jewels from that shit. Can't be 19 all the time, fellas. Gotta grow up. And this is coming from somebody who loves jokes. That's a good comment in the chat, Anthony Bolton. A lot of people are saying Corey is foul. But remember, Corey also called out Vlad. Yeah. Look, man. Look, y'all. Corey's a comedian. He's an entertainer. He's going to flip it. That's what he does. Don't take it personal. Hell, a lot of you motherfuckers fell out for people over far less. Don't get mad because he fell out and knows how to do something with it. And hopefully Zoe finds a way to flip it. I wish much success to Zoe. Yeah, Slink. Hell yeah, I go live with you on your channel to win. I gotta go pick up my weed and come back, but Slink, text me, nigga, what time? Yes, I'll go live with you on your channel. Yes. Nigga, yes. Yes, me and Slink Johnson. Yes. Let's do that. But again, that's pretty much all I wanted to say about this. Look at what's going on. Don't take what's going on personal. Let those two grown men work it out. The issue that they have going on between the two has nothing to do with black men. This is something to do with those two black men, and they'll work it out. However is the best way to work it out. They'll work it out the way it's supposed to be worked out. An angry black Negro. I'm not a 3XL. I'm a 4XL. It's all your mama's hog maws and grits and biscuits that she be feeding me that keep my weight up, homeboy. Tell your mama to stop cooking so goddamn good. I be coming through there at 3 o'clock in the morning. Your mama got fresh oxtails. What am I gonna do? Say no? But that right there, that comment right there shows you, and I'm not gonna pile on you too hard, but I'm gonna use you as a learning. I'm gonna use that person that made that comment as a lesson to learn from and what we do. The same person that says, hey, you can't be big forever, you gotta slim up on some superficial shit, is the same person that said, man, Dwann on some Martin Luther King shit, man, I'm about to start roasting in about 5 minutes. Do y'all see a connection in the personality here? The person that can't take an in-depth conversation about a popular topic, the same person that's resistant to looking at something that we're all interested in from multiple angles and multiple levels, is also the same person on some superficial shit talking about how someone looks. Do y'all see the connection, or is it just me? Am I being weird? Tell me in the chat room, am I being weird? The people that can't take an in-depth conversation about some real shit are being easily distracted into looks, into superficial shit. Did your mama not keep you on the nipple long enough is my question. Because on this show, we're talking about taking things to a deep level, deeper understanding, deeper connection to what's going on. And while we're going to what's real, you have people that are trying to pull us out of what's real into some illusionary facade fake shit. Looks. Did we not start this conversation today off on talking about looks? People looking at Kamala Harris and thinking that they know how she thinks and who she is based off of a look. People rushing Trump out and rushing in Biden. Didn't matter what Biden did to us as a people, but Biden is a better look than Trump. I swear you superficial how things look motherfuckers are the death to intelligent society. Intelligent society can't move ahead. Intelligent society can't get the things that we need because we keep getting outvoted by motherfuckers stuck on looks. Oh, I'm not gonna take information. This motherfucker dropping some real shit, but man, I don't like the look. Your daddy didn't like how your mama looked, but he still fucked her at 5 a.m. and never saw you again. And you here. So can we please get off that, please? Get past the superficial shit and let's get to what's real. Reddy said, I just want my 1400. Fuck bite. I feel you. Let's get the money. Let's get the money. Politics. Let's go back to what politics is. Politics is how the resources collected, i.e. our taxes, are distributed amongst the society. which government programs they go to, and which groups of people get a piece of. That's why we vote. And if people stayed voting like that, we'd actually get more than $1,400. We'd actually get all the things that we need. But we're not getting that because people are stuck on looks. Joe Biden looks much more presidential than Donald Trump. Joe Biden doesn't tweet the way he tweets. Caught up in looks. Oh, Kamala Harris, she's my soror pearls, black woman magic. Then as soon as the bitch gets sworn in, she talking about how Indian she was. Again, dumb niggas caught up in looks. Getting us all fucked up because you superficial. You superficial motherfuckers are in the way. You superficial people been fucking up for a long time. And I ain't one to listen to what superficial people gotta say. It's been too long. Those of us that are intelligent, those of us who see past the bullshit, we've been getting quiet. Because we don't want to get judged by what the superficial contingent gotta say. By what superficial people, look, we running around here worried about the thoughts of people who think Puff Daddy was a good music producer think. Puff Daddy wasn't shit. All that nigga did was take what was already successful, replay the same track, same tempo, and put some new words on it. He wasn't no damn. But you got people who think that nigga's a genius, and he worried about what that motherfucker thinks about you. You know how silly that sound? No, angry black man, I didn't say you dumb, but you put yourself out there, and whenever you put yourself out there, the comeback is however the fuck the comeback is. Don't try to reconcile and, oh, you think I'm dumb now? I already said it wasn't personal. I just said I'm gonna use what you said as an example. I didn't say you were dumb. That's your projection. Don't get mad now. You said some silly shit. Now I'm responding to the silly shit with some real shit. I didn't say you're dumb. If you feel that way, then take responsibility for your feelings. I never said that. Dumb comments. But like I said before I even said that, you're not your actions. Nobody's their actions. Smart people make dumb comments all the time. You can be very intelligent. That comment was dumb than a motherfucker. But I don't know you well enough to know if you're dumb or not. I'm not going to say that. You're right, M. Moses. Puppy didn't even write his own songs. You got people that are running around, ain't heard one Eminem album top to bottom, but say he's in the top 5 greatest MCs of all time. You got niggas who ain't never listened to Eminem outside of a few songs he did with Dr. Dre and Nate Dogg. And then say like, man, but you gotta put him on top, man, because, well, why you gotta put Eminem on top? Well, man, because, you just got to. Okay, name his timeless album that's still getting bumped today. Well, I don't know about no top timeless album, but shit, you just gotta put him in the top 5. You got people who think like that. And you're worried about what they think about you? You see how silly that sounds? You got people who said, I'm just gonna vote Democrat. Well, the Democrats, they fuck us over worse than the Republicans. I'm still voting blue no matter who. Well, when the last Democrat was in office, he signed the Blue Lives Alert law that, gave police more protections against black people, and the Democrat didn't. When Freddie Gray and Cassandra Bland and Tamir Rice and Trayvon Martin and Alton Sterling and Corinne Gaines, and y'all know the list. When something happened to them, the black guy didn't do nothing about it. Well, now we're still better off than with Trump. We still better off. Okay, well, let's go back to the last Democrat before then. Clinton. This motherfucker signed the 1996 information. I forgot the name of it. The media bill that basically killed all local radio and all black-owned media. And Joe Biden wrote that crime bill, and he signed it that put all the black people in jail. Well, I don't. Now you're talking too much, man. You just need to get Trump out. You got people who think like that, and you're worried about what other people think about you. You got people out there who, even though Trump has been on record since the 70s, not allowing black people into his apartments, on his show The Apprentice, he always found a way to make sure the black business didn't win, didn't get to the top. Trump ran on white supremacy, and you got niggas going around, well, I don't know if Trump is racist or not. And you worried about what that motherfucker thinks about you. What's my whole point in me saying all of this? Fuck what people think. Be secure within what you do. Be secure on how you think. And don't allow, when others are having these public disputes, people we love like Corey Holcomb and Zoe Williams, don't allow that to throw you off what you got going. See it for what it is and keep pushing. See it for what it is and keep pushing. And if you're gonna say a fat joke, make sure, one, that it's funny. Make sure, two, that it makes sense. And make sure, three, you're ready for whatever blowback comes your way. Don't bitch about the blowback. Don't start this shit, then bitch about the blowback. Because sometimes I choose to straight up clown. Sometimes I choose to break you down. Either way it go, suck it up, nigga. Everything I say is with love. Everything I say is with love. But if you're gonna talk shit, get ready for the get back. Don't complain about the get back. I'm over here talking my shit, and people nominate themselves for the get back, then get mad when the big get back to them. See, what y'all talking about? Yeah, Willie Johnson. When Corey said that about the lawyer, yeah, that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up, Willie Johnson. That's what made me kind of change a little bit more of my perspective too. Because when a man pulled money out of his pockets, at that point, I don't have no right to judge how he feel about anything. If you cost another man $100, let alone $20,000, then who am I to jump in and tell you how you should handle losing out on $20,000? I can't spend another man's money for him. I can't spend another man's money for him. If he came out of $20,000, that man has the right to feel however he feels, without me judging him. So like I said, I look forward to Craig Facts on Tuesday. We're going to have Zoe Williams in the building. We're going to hear Zoe's side. We're going to hear Zoe's side on Tuesday. And Zoe may have a reason. He may have an explanation outside of when I hit a lick. That whole when I hit a lick shit was funny as hell. We don't need to hear a little more than when I hit a lick on Tuesday. No, Mr. Teddy. No. I'm glad you made that comment, Mr. Was that Trade 890? I see where you coming from, because I saw the episode when Zoe beat up on Aries. He said Corey instigated it. I see where he coming from, but no, I can't take that. You know why? Because although look, 50 the show is called 5150. Dude, 5150 is a crazy ass show. Of course Corey instigated it. That's what 5150 is. You still got to be able to control yourself. You still got to be able to control yourself. Yes, Corey instigated it. That's why the fuck we love 5150. Come on. We love 5150 because it's wild. Anything can be said. You know that going in. You have to have enough control of yourself to be able to control yourself. The show is literally called 5150. Have you looked up what 5150 means? There's a reason why he named the show 5150. Yes, Corey instigated it, because that's what the fuck goes on 5150. Keep it jokes and keep it pushing. Or know when you've had enough and walk away. But you can't, no. I'm talking as a man here. As a man, there is no shared responsibility for your actions. As a man, the buck stops with you. That's the world we live in. If you do a crime, you're going to do the time. You can't do a crime and say, man, it's because of how my mother raised me, and the court ain't hearing that. The court ain't hearing, oh, I was in a car with Ray, and he was telling me about such and such, and I had to do this. No. That's the world we live in. There is no shared responsibility. That's some new shit you new niggas is bringing. It's called, thank you, Lovelace, it's called self-control. Self-control. Control of the self. We must have self-control. And I'm sure Brother Zoe will be the first one to say that. So if one loses their self-control, that is on you. As an adult, you have to know your limits. And then not only do you have to know your limits, you have to then know what to do as you feel yourself approaching that limit. Because we all, once we've all spilled over, then it ain't no putting the shit back in the can once it's spilled over. You have to know what to do to check your emotions, long before it gets to that point. And if you don't control yourself up until that point, and whatever you do, you have to then bear the brunt of that. And I'm not going to sit here and say someone else is wrong for doing what they've always done since day one on the show. From the first episode of 5150 on, what does Corey do? Antagonize, instigate, and say the funniest jokes a comic could ever say around, antagonizing and instigating. That's why we love 5150. There's no shared responsibility. That's another learning lesson and jewel we can get from this. As a man, you don't get to share responsibility. You pay for it. That's a good point, angry black Negro, man. These niggas 40. Like, hey, that's a long ass age. That's an old age to be still solving problems through fists. Fighting is some shit that, man, tell you the truth, we should all know our limits enough to not have to even get in fights by the time we get to our 30s. Because we all know when we're reaching that point. We all then have to know what to do to get ourselves out of the situation, so when we do spill over, or so we won't spill over. Because once you do spill over, you then have to suffer the consequences. But in this situation, the person that suffered the consequences was Corey Holcomb. Yeah. And that's another thing. Being called out on your BS. If you call somebody out on their show, I think I see the comment you made. If you call someone out on their show, you have to be prepared for wherever it goes from there. Because to me, I didn't think it was fair that Corey was called out for not putting his people on. Because Corey does put his people on. Corey shares his platform. Corey has a huge platform. Most comics, most people don't have a platform as big as 5150. Corey freely shares it. That is putting people on. Now, what you do with that is on you. That's not on Corey Holcomb. If Corey was one of these niggas that was like, no, man, you can't. I don't know about that, man. You can't put your shit. I don't want you doing my shit. Yeah, you can kick it with me, man, but you can't do my show. My show is all about. Corey could easily make his show all about himself, and niggas would still watch because he's funny as hell. Sharing his platform is doing something. So I can understand why Corey would feel a certain kind of way by being called out on his own show for not doing what he's actually doing in that moment. The fact that you're sitting there with a mic is proof and evidence that he's sharing with his people. I agree, really. And as a matter of fact, on Craig Facts, Corey said that. Corey said that, if he could do it different, he would have handled it, back when it happened, when it came to the money. And he was very transparent about making that mistake. I just hope that on Tuesday, whatever Zoe says, that he be 100 with it. Because I'm sure there's a lot. I know Zoe has a perspective. I know Zoe has a reason for doing the things that he did. I can't wait to hear it. Personally, I can't wait to hear it. And then when he says what he has to say, we're going to come right back on his platform and we're going to break it down some more. But the whole point of this, like I said, the whole point of this broadcast is this. Don't get too involved in what you see happening out there in front of us. Corey and Zoe have their own relationship that's been happening long before any of us that goes deeper than any of us understand, that any of us know. They both have their reasonings. Zoe had his reasons for saying what he said. Corey had his reasons for saying what he said. Unfortunately, it happened in public. Do I wish it happened behind closed doors? Yes, but that's my wish. My wish is irrelevant. Corey said it on Craig Facts. He glad that he did it publicly because of how the situation was handled between he and Grady privately. He didn't like the way that private conversation happened, so he wanted to do this in public. So that lets you know Corey had his reasonings for doing this publicly. It's not for me to judge. His reasons are his reasons. The only thing I'm gonna do is sit back and watch and see what I can pick up from this. That's true, Angry Black Negro. Angry Black Negro went from saying some funny, less than funny comments to saying some real shit. You can't keep people around who don't have anything to lose equally either. Financially, spiritually, yeah. Because when you have things to lose, when someone doesn't have anything to lose, they tend to think a little faster. I'm not saying think a little faster. They tend to not think and act a little faster without thinking. Because they understand the consequences of their actions are minimal. When you build some shit and you know that your actions can equate to losing that shit that you built, you think a little bit differently. And this isn't the point figures of either one. And I'm not even talking about Corey and Zoe in this situation. I'm talking about it in general. You know what I mean? It's a lot of angles to look at this from. It's a lot of angles to look at this from. And I think this is a great thing to look at from these different angles. It's a lot of angles to look at this from. Okay, I like this comment. You said, ain't nobody seriously involved in this drama. It's just something to do during COVID. Zoe and Corey aren't part of our day-to-day lives. And we in theirs to keep it 100. I like that comment. Yeah, you're right. There are a lot of people out there on your wavelength. No one, nobody. You're right. This is a COVID time. A lot of people really are just want to be entertained. And people tend to get entertained most by drama. But at the same time, there are people out here that are seriously involved. I've only been on 5150 3 times, and I got motherfuckers all in my inbox telling me, really spilling their emotions out. And I'm looking like, dude, don't be that dude. Just chill. It's really not that serious, people. It's really not. But at the same time, if you are going to look at it, like me, I don't look at drama unless it's a learning lesson I can get up out of that. And in this drama, I think between Corey and Zoe, there are a fuck ton of learning lessons. A lot of learning lessons. A lot of we can apply. And I'm about to get out of here pretty soon, but I didn't even write no lessons down, but these are going to be off the top of my head lessons. Because these are some of the lessons that I have been coming to my head. And I'll talk more about these when I do my follow-up to Zoe. But lesson number 1 is mind your own fucking business. A lot of what I've been seeing people say over in the comment section over the last week or so, you niggas been talking about Corey and Freeze fell out and this and that, and Corey's doing it for that reason and Zoe's doing it for that reason. A lot of that shit has been flat out just dead wrong. Like the situation from them is over here somewhere by the beach, and nigga, your commentary is somewhere in the rainforest. And y'all not even on the same hemisphere of the planet. So one, leave the shit alone if it don't involve you. If it, you know what I mean? Don't act like you know. That's lesson number one. Lesson number two, if you have an issue with somebody does something very foul, it's probably best to handle it when that person did whatever they did and not allowing that thing to fester so it blows up on camera in front of everybody. Or for everybody out there, y'all don't have a camera. It's the equivalent to when things blow up at family reunions. Or when things blow up at, shit always happens at funerals. You've been to a nigga funeral, you seen some bullshit. Why did that thing happen at the funeral? Well, it happened because Cousin Ray and Cousin Antoine been having these issues for 20 some odd years. And they wouldn't talk about it. And they'd only address this shit in passive aggressive ways. So when Big Mama finally died, and we at that funeral, now it's a fight at the repast. Because people didn't handle that shit when it was fresh. Look, shit is best and easiest to clean up when it just got dropped and it's still wet. That's the best time to throw it in the trash. You don't need to be bringing up, that's real talk, Iron Manifesto. You don't need to be bringing up no old shit. You right, Sky. Look, that one cousin do need they shit checked. But the time to check them is when they do the bullshit that's check worthy. We be having cousins do all kind of fuck shit. The whole family turn a blind eye. Oh, that's just how Regina is. Oh, that's just how Devontae is. Don't say shit to them when it's time to check them. Then the minute Big Mama die, the minute Aunt Joan is gone, now niggas is fighting in the cemetery, fighting at the repast, falling out over some shit that should have been handled when it happened. So that's the other lesson we get from this. Handle shit when it happens. Lesson number 3. If you cause some shit to happen because you couldn't control yourself in a moment, be the person to clean it up. And right away. Don't waste 2 minutes. Clean it up right away. Don't come up, no, oh man, that's my bad, man. Shit, I fucked up, man, but man, shit now. Man, it's all good, man. Shit, no, no, nigga. Clean it up now. What's up, Brandon? I appreciate that. Get it from God. Crib Facts in the building. Clean your shit up. And if you don't have the money to clean it up right now, set up an installment plan, a payment plan. Hell, nigga, I'll just pay you my tax return until it may take me 10 years, but here, I'll give you my tax return till the debt is paid. Handle your shit. Because when you don't handle your shit, you give people the leverage to respond to the shit that you created however they feel like responding. And guess what? They'll be in the right because they didn't create the shit. You did. They actually have righteousness on their side because it's not the shit that they created. It's the shit you created. But they can't have that stick to hit you over the head with if you clean it up yourself. These are the lessons that we can learn from this situation. clean your shit up, handle your shit, and I forgot the first one. Y'all can replay that motherfucker, because this shit ain't written down. I come to you motherfuckers from the heart. I speak from the heart. I speak from the heart. I speak from love. I speak from the angle of a nigga that just want to get shit solved so we can move on. I'm not here to play into the drama. I'm not here to clout chase on issues between two other grown-ass men. I'm just here to help articulate some of the lessons that we learn. That's right. Thank you, lovelies. Mind your business. That's it. Mind your business. Thank you, Sylvester Ishmael. Own your shit. That's all we got to talk about today. Thank y'all for being here with me. I took last week off because I needed a motherfucking break to sit and connect with nature. I'm back. Got my energy back. I'm here. I'll be back with you live tomorrow. And I think I'm doing live on Tuesday. Because on Wednesday, I'm getting my wisdom teeth pulled out. And I will not be able to talk to y'all sounding like Muhammad Ali. In the 2000s. No. I'm gonna sound like a diesel truck just getting started up. I have issues enunciating my words now. Y'all do not want to hear me with full, freshly removed wisdom tooths. So yeah, but I'm gonna get back at y'all the minute my mouth is healed from the wisdom teeth. Hopefully Thursday. Yeah, great conversations in the chat room. I love the way y'all build. Don't take anything I said personal. If I use you to crack jokes on, it's just to make a bigger point. It ain't personal. I got love for you. I got love for everybody in here. Thank you for listening to the episode, Sky. I appreciate that. Yeah, we ain't here at Hotepish. We ain't here to push drama and bullshit. We may talk about the drama and bullshit, but we talk about the drama and bullshit as a canvas to learn deeper lessons that we can then take to our own personal lives and grow from. And be a better human being to those who love us and embrace those who care about us. And have an open heart for those who are open towards us. And not taking it personal when those who don't vibrate with us have their own way of seeing things, their own way of doing things, their own way of approaching things. It's not personal. It's not personal. That's the game. And remember this. And I think my closing message means more today than it generally means. But I say this when I sign off on every episode. There are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages. For those who are willing to listen. Corey ain't a perfect messenger. But Corey's a funny motherfucker. Zoe's not a perfect messenger. But Zoe's a wise motherfucker. Take what you can from them. Leave the rest behind. Jeff Brown. Salute to you. I can't wait to see you on Tuesday, Uncle Jeff. At the show. Take from these brothers what they have to offer. And leave the bullshit behind. My name is Dwann B. We out.